All right, let me see, making sure the video is good. All right, let's go for a walk. We'll take some pictures too. Okay, my card is here. So we'll take the stairs down to a lobby. So you'll get to see the lobby and technically how close this place is to the kind of main center of so-called life area. It's obviously, it's very, like, it's early in the morning, so right now it's 8 o'clock. So this place, you know, looks totally different during the nighttime. A lot of people out on the street, nice lights, and obviously totally different scenery. But nevertheless, at least, you know, it'll give you some idea when it comes to the actual location of hotels and such. Good morning. How are you? How you doing, sir? Good morning. Oops. I'm all right, thank you. Just walk. Good morning, guys. The massage place that's kind of across. So like I said, I was told, like, don't go. They got a pretty bad reviews. Good morning. I'm okay, thank you. They have a very poor reviews. You know, it's more like a kind of, like, literally they're kind of touching you only. So plus they have false bottoms or backs in the locker, and a lot of people got robbed over here. So I was even told by the bar girls not to go on these kind of side streets. If you do want to get a massage, ought to get one in a hotel, which you have to go to the spa, or we'll walk by a river in front of the river street. Supposedly it gets better over there when it comes to the massages. So the first street we're crossing, so this is 136. You have your ATM machines. Now, my card actually did not work in 3 of the ATMs. The 4th ATM, which is Canada something, I was able to withdraw. So actually, I thought there was something wrong with my card. So sometimes you might have to try a couple ATMs. The fee per withdrawal is about $5. So if you withdraw $500, you know, you're gonna pay $505. This corner, which is you see on top, 126, it's a restaurant that a lot of locals come in, and I ate here. It's kind of dirty. The food is just, it's okay, nothing special. I only ate here once, and that's it. But like I said, it opens very early. I think it's like 4 or 5 o'clock. And then also closes pretty late. It closes pretty early. I think I was here at 4 o'clock and they already told me they're not serving any more food. Pardon me, I'm gonna take a couple pictures. Holy shit, my camera, it's fogging up. I cannot even take a picture because of my lens. It's all fogged up. So technically anywhere you go, you'll see I think it's 1 and 2 streets. So 3 streets off the river are technically full of bars. And a lot of these places, they open very early. So you can technically, if you want to drink 24/7, you can do it over here. Just walking, thank you. First black corner of the River Street, like I said, which is kind of the main street. It's this restaurant called Ostro, O-S-T-R-O. This is the best restaurant that I've ate around. And I've been to, I'm not gonna claim that I've been to a lot of them, but I've been to a few restaurants. But whoever cooks over here, it's got an amazing taste. Like all their food that I've tried, they're just really, really good. They also have a light band. They open early. I think they're open 24/7. They had a light band yesterday at night. So it was a very cool place to chill. And as you see, you can sit outside and you can watch the girls, on the corner and all these things, which is kind of pretty. It's like, I don't know, it's fun to experience, especially since you don't get to, well, unless you live in Vegas or somewhere, I don't know, they're like, you don't get to experience these things quite often. So it's an eye-opening because you can see a lot of dumb shit, going on. After sitting a couple hours, just kind of roaming around, like I said, it's there's some characters that come down here. Look, I don't mind. Like, look, if you're an adult and you want to come down here and find a lady because you're lonely or whatever it is, and the exchange is mutual, it's none of my business. Hi, I'm good, thank you. My problem with this place is that you see 12, 13-year-old girls, okay, sitting in these bars, vaping, already all tattooed up, and then you see these foreigners, 50, 60-year-olds, and they take these young girls to the car and take them to the hotel. Like, I mean, I've been to Pattaya for like 2-3 days just to kind of see what's, just to see what's up, and I didn't, and obviously there's a lot of that going on too, but not when it comes to the minors. I think Thailand kind of cracks up on the minors a little bit more, but this place is, like I said, it's pretty bad and it's pretty sad. And and I feel like as a man, you're supposed to be protective over women, especially over kids. So the fact that so many sexual predators, because that's what I'll call them, come down here just for that kind of pissed me off when I, like, in all honesty, like, when I saw that, and but the fact is that the young ones are the wild ones, and like locals, they see it and they, I don't know if it's okay, because they kind of wave it off, but I don't think that's actually kind of acceptable, and it's so.
Dude, sorry, I'm drunk, I'm stoned.
Yeah.
I walk home, I go sleep around the corner.
Yeah, go.
So you have really beautiful gear with you.
It is.
What do? Professional or?
No, I just a tourist, but I take a lot of pictures and record.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Expensive too.
Looks like. You make good pictures?
Yeah.
Party on.
Go sleep.
I go sleep.
All right, nice to meet you, sir. I'll cross this street for now. We're gonna go through a riverside. I apologize for loud sound. There's not many lights. It's kind of funny when you walk around here. It's kind of like on the fave system. But people are very dynamic drivers. And like I said, everybody's on a scooter. The price for the scooter is about $2,000 or so from what I've learned. So it's affordable. And as long as the scooter is not over 125 cc's, you don't need a driver license. So that's why everybody just kind of rides on a scooter. Now I took this river kind of walk. It's super nice in the morning because it's still like pretty chill. When you come at night over here, The lights are beautiful. Like you see all the lights across the river, which is a nice view. A lot of people chill here, but there's also a lot of freelancers walking around and, asking if you want to take him to the, to the hotel. And, when you're like, if you say you're not interested or you tell them, listen, you're too young, you should go back to school. It's kind of funny because they look at you like you're a piece of shit, but it is what it is, right? It's kind of it's kind of sad to see, to see that, because you wish that for everybody to do better and to make better choices. But the difference between, the difference between, for example, Cambodia and Thailand, you could, and it is a massive difference. When you talk to some of these girls, you see they have a very similar mentality. Same stories. They make all of them make poor decisions for the same reason. And the thing is that most of them they'll sit by the bar and they'll scream, they yell. Some of them even if you just want to talk to them, buy them a beer or whatever. It's there's not much kind of I understand they're when it comes to the education and simplicity, right? It's gonna be much different. But the thing is that Thai girls, they hustle. These girls do literally hustle, and thank you. And they'll do whatever they can. So you buy them a drink and maybe take him to the hotel. They're much more involved, and they try much harder. They're seems to be way more ambitious. These girls over here, they'll sit in the bar. Like I said, most of them will not even get up, right? They'll just sit and yell at you, and then even if you sit and you'll buy them a beer. Like I said, there's really kind of no substance to a conversation. Most of them are pretty bad in English, but you can kind of get by. They know enough where maybe you can understand what's going on with them. Learn something about them. That's the whole point of meeting different people from different walks of life, right? You come here to kind of visit the country, experience their food, experience people, learn their stories. Thank you. Yeah, learn their stories, and but yeah, most of these girls are like said, it's like talking to a wall. There's a lot of things I might say that maybe not politically correct or it's impolite, but I don't really give a shit. I'll call it like I see it. So like I said, if you want to be more if you're looking for somebody that's actually more engaged, hustle a little bit more, I would pick Thailand when it comes to over Phnom Penh, just for the fact is that the services here are pretty expensive. I actually don't know how much is to take a girl to the hotel because I didn't ask. The beer, it's $5, so you'll buy a girl a beer. Some of these girls, when they don't have customers and they drink, I asked them how do you make money? It's you had no customer, you guys have all these beers and all that food on the table, you spend way more than you make. You're not gonna get a clear answer. But that's the kind of life they live, right? Like I said, and it is what it is. This is what's cute about these streets. So the street that we're on, it's 136, and this is the next street over. It should be 135, right? But it's 130. So the streets are they do get smaller as you go, but they literally jumped the numbers by a lot. I don't know why. So like I said, 136. So you have about 3 or 4 streets that go from 136 down. That you see one or 2 blocks length. There are full of bars and restaurants. And like I said, not far from here, you have that museum. It took me like 5 or 7 minutes just to walk to the museum, and it was definitely worth it. And there's, like I said, if you go down to that river walk where we were, and you would make a right and you walk for about 5 minutes, there's a Starbucks, which is if you like coffee. And you know, when you look at a bunch of these places, it's a little bit sketchy to, like, you know, because you don't know if you're getting a real coffee or it's like a coffee syrup and whatnot. I don't use Starbucks at home. When I travel, I do. And I was glad that I actually do have a Starbucks, because you know, when I had a coffee here, I'm like, I was just so happy for a moment, you know, there. You know, I was wondering a little bit about ice, because when I was in Philippines, I went to a good restaurant, and I had a hello, which is like, it's kind of dessert, but it's blended with, you know, they blend the ice, and I got really, really sick. So over here, they don't make their own ice. All the ice they actually buy. So you should be okay to order a drink or have an iced coffee, because all the ice is technically purchased. It's not made from the water. So this is one thing that I've learned to be careful when it comes to traveling. So let me see if so my lens is still fogged up. That sucks. You know, when it comes to other people, like to actually, so when you, as a guy, right, when you walk the streets, you're gonna hear a lot of, especially if you walk by yourself or just, you know, without a lady friend, you know, you will be bothered asking about, you know, buy me a drink, whatever, go to the hotel or whatnot. And then obviously tuk-tuks, you know, as you see everywhere. I have not taken the ride with the tuk-tuk, but when I landed, you get greeted by these tuk-tuk mafias, and you know, they usually give you a ridiculous price. Then you check on the grab, and I had a long flight, right? I did not care to ride in the tuk-tuk. I don't know how far exactly the hotel is from the airport. So what I did was, like, I told them, you know, no thank you. They already ordered Grab. So they were a little bit mean to me afterwards. Like, mean, I mean, I'm talking about, like, you know, they looked at me like whatever. But I tried to stay away from tuk-tuks, because I do feel like a lot of them are, I know they gotta do business, but in Thailand I had a kind of bad experience where, you know, I did end up taking a tuk-tuk. He was supposed to take some pictures, and then he took me to a boat to, you know, take a boat trip, which I told him I don't want, because I already been on one, and this fucker literally left me, like, so I had to go and get a Grab to pick me up. So, like I said, you know, and I saw the guy later. I'm like, well, what are you gonna do, right? You're not in your country, you're a guest, so you have to be at your best behavior. But I try to stay away from tuk-tuks. It is simple as that. I love these old buildings. Like these buildings, no matter like when you go to Thailand or part of Philippines, like some of these streets, they look very, very similar. See, I gotta adjust the diopter. I'm okay, thank you. There are some areas that you have like a lot of Indian restaurants. I'm not a fan of Indian food, so I don't go. But I've looked up some of these some of the reviews for these places. You know, they have like chicken curry and whatnot, and I know a lot of people like Indian food. So if what do you call it? If that's what you like, you could find a lot of good things. There's also pizza. Oh, Domino's. There's a Domino's in it right in the corner. Which you know, you don't come to Cambodia to eat American. Well, pizza is not necessarily maybe American, but if you know, if it's you miss like a pizza or stuff like that, it's kind of available over here too. So we do have Starbucks, we have pizza, but pizza is served in a lot of these restaurants. When it comes to, you know, the city itself, 7 years ago, you know, when you look at old pictures or videos, it looked totally different. You could see how fast this city is expanding and growing, and I'm kind of wondering how it's gonna change in the next 7 years. Which, you know, I'm kind of, when it comes to for that, you know, I'm kind of happy that the current leaders, they, you know, take initiative and, you know, and they're welcome foreign investors to come and invest money over here, you know, because like I said, at some point, a lot of people do have a better life afterwards. It benefits them. But people that are more traditional, like live somewhere, like I said, you know, like are too old to work, the life becomes much harder for them because, you know, inflation and everything changes, things get more expensive. And the government does not, like from what I learned, they do not take care of their elderly. You do not have a medical or hospital. I know monks do help. So when you go to palaces or like pagodas, or when you go like pagodas and stuff like that, like try to donate some of that, give a little donation, because that donation actually goes to help people out, like real regular people. A lot of these places, when you walk around, because their sewer system is pretty poor, it smells. But only in some areas. Hi, how are you?
Good.
I'm good, thank you. And look, no matter, like I said, if it's, what do you call it? You know, most of the people over here, I don't know if you could say like they're hardworking, some are, some are not. It's the culture from, you know, when you visit Asia, like for example, I saw some of the like building projects, and when you go to these night markets, you have, you know, 4 in the morning, they're taking out all the, you know, the tables and you know, framing for the tables because they gotta open the, you know, the street for the morning commute. And then you see a lot of people just kind of sit around, you know, outside and technically not do anything. But, you know, you kind of have an understanding, like why, for example, US is the way they are. Because over here, like, same thing in Philippines. They have so many days for celebration where they close the businesses and whatnot. Now, imagine if you're a country and you close technically a business for one day, how much money you're losing, right? You know, in US, like I work in the shop. We have 5 paid holidays. Outside of that, you know, holidays, you technically work. So, you know, your country is very productive. And when like I said, I've been working in manufacturing and construction for a long time, and like I said, I gotta give it to when it comes to America, is that people are productive. A lot of them are super hardworking, and you don't kind of get to see that. Maybe I think people live a little bit more like relaxed life. Where United States, it's you're chasing that wealth. Life also gets more expensive, so you have to work to so you can have a house, you can have a car. Education is expensive, medical is expensive, and all these things. And I think just people don't kind of care about that as much over here. For them, it's enough just to kind of get by. And it's no worse or better way to live. It is what it is. But like I said, it's just the kind of culture is so much different. And this is one of the reasons why why you kind of travel, and you get away for a little bit, just to kind of see all those things and compare. And obviously, when you travel and when you go somewhere 4 or 5 days, in the beginning, it's obviously hard to make a judgment. When it comes to people, and when it comes to you look at the businesses, how clean the services are, how ambitious people are, if they understand, business and sell, or like if you have a restaurant, for example. And you're going to be standing outside to bring clients in, you have to be engaged, right? You have to find something to catch the interest of a potential client, and offer him services that he thinks that he's going to need, right? Or he's going to enjoy. You don't get to see that. Even like when it comes to the restaurants, like there's a science to building a menu, right? It's like don't have too many meals, because it's like sometimes you go through like 50 of these cards, and with 1,000 different meals, it's like what the hell are you gonna go and order, right? So why not just have 2 pages or 2 leaves with so you have 4 pages, a few meals, you have less ingredients, you don't have to buy as many things. It's easier to pick. You do like type of dinners or food that will maximize your profit, and it's also easier on eyes and other things, right? And so look, there's a lot of studies in science that have been put into building menus, or like I said, how infrastructure is built for anything, how people do construction, like U.S. when it comes to technology of building. And look, the debate is before, you build a house out of framing out of 2x4, where over here it's out of blocks and concrete. The thing is, you don't need a concrete and blocks in Chicago, right? We don't have winds and that struggle of winds where you need that good of a foundation and whatnot. But when it comes to like efficiency, cost savings, yet still have a good good house and fully functional, easy to depends on type of roof you have, or you want to knock out a wall or expand or add something to it, you want to run wires, the drywall and all these things. This is very well made of and like engineered. Over here, it's like everything is done, I'm not gonna say half-ass, but they do lack engineering and efficiency and maximizing the cost of materials and just kind of availability, right? Because it's not like you're gonna find a Home Depot or Menards. When you walk, you see like one place it sells like some basic construction materials. Let's say couple machines, aggregators, and whatnot. But yeah, it's nothing, like I said, it's nothing close to what the United States to offer. And it's just, it is amazing like I said, how well United States kind of run itself because of people and because of innovation and you know, and things are like plumbing and electrical, and all these things are, you know, constantly evolving. So since I'm here, let me see. Since I'm here, and like I said, we walked, like, I think it was a 3 or 4 street. I'll show you guys where the museum is, that it's absolutely a must to go through when you're here. Because it's, like I said, it's very close. And then we'll go back to the river, that river kind of road, go back to that 136 and take a walk to the hotel. Like I said, I do appreciate your time. You know, if you watch this video, if you found it unhelpful, I apologize for wasting your time. But like I said, it's I personally find these videos helpful, and you know what? I do appreciate that people take their time and, you know, buy a camera or whatever, and they walk around and help people to kind of decide if you want to come here. And if you do, like I said, you know, you're a little bit more educated about the place. You learn a little bit where to go, maybe what places to visit, what to expect, you know, because like obviously internet is important, you know, so you have Google Maps and you can research things. So, you know, what's the best way to connect, or if you should buy a SIM card or one out of the airport. When it comes to the money, right, same thing. If you can use dollars, which is, you know, if you come from US, which is super nice, or do you have to exchange, and, you know, do you exchange the money or the airport, which usually the exchange is not as good as you can find somewhere, let's say in a money exchanger outside of the airports. All these little things I always try to kind of research, because it's very helpful. It's very helpful, and, you know, I can get on the treadmill and just, you know, watch a YouTube video, and, you know, then I land and I'm prepared instead of walking like a blind duck. So this is the place. This is the museum. And as you see, it opens at 9 o'clock and it closes at 6. And you walk up to that door over there. On the left side, you have a ticket counter. And like I said, from what I remember, I think it was $5. And you have these sections where you go from one section to another. A lot of these sections have like these sitting benches, and they have a video that you can watch. And it's you can easily actually spend like 2 hours to go through this whole thing. If you watch all the videos, and you get to learn, like I said, everything when it comes to the history, when it comes to the money and all these things. It's, well, like I said, it's they have air conditioning, so it's nice and chill. And, you know, like I don't know, economy, it might not be for everyone, but as much as I even learned from the motor girl, like, because she told me a lot of these stories and I asked questions, this place kind of clarified what happened in Cambodia, you know, like, and you know, when it comes to the, let's say, horrible history where a lot of people got killed, and, you know, and why, and, you know, who influenced all these things. But also it kind of shows you how people, you know, pick their leaders, and how people follow these dictators like blind sheep. And, you know, and you see that more and more, you know, where people, but look, that happens in the United States too. You have a lot of smart people making dumb decisions when it comes to politics, because politics, you know, it's like it's based on the belief, or you vote for somebody because you don't like the other guy, right? Like, we've been through this a lot, and, you know, when it comes to the Trump and Biden and all these things. And look, and what I'm saying is, you know, when you look at the numbers and when you look at the data, and you're not married religiously to a particular side, it is very easy to make a decision to switch. But people are so tribal, you know, they love iPhones, so Android is shit, or, you know, they're Democrats, so the Republicans are shit. Well, Democrats today are not the Democrats in 70s, you know, and like I said, when you look at the data and you open your eyes, it's you know, the choice is very clear. But if that's not who you are, like I said, I mean, you know, Americans are, or I mean, the education kind of went down a lot, right? But they're very well educated. Like, there's a lot of smart and ambitious people in the United States. It's, thank you. Hi. Little bit. And thank you. And, you know, and obviously Cambodia is very far, the education is very far behind. Sometimes that reflects in a lot of choices that I make too, because I do believe in education, and I think, you know, well-educated people or culture or like any government that invests in education of its people does much better as a society. You know, you get better jobs, better, more innovative in all these things, and that kind of translates across, you know, the culture and society and everything. Obviously, China is a very clear kind of an indicator of what you can do. Like, so was Germany. Like, you know, after the First War, where Hitler came to power, in the beginning, I mean, Germany was technically collapsing, and in 3 years, the economy of Germany like picked up like an incredible speed. But the fact is that, you know, if you learn history about Germany, like, Germans were very well educated, they're very smart people. So it was easy to change the model, and everything changed too. You know, to the point where people were suffering, and 3 years later they had a good life. You know, so you know, people did appreciate that, and they kind of felt that Hitler was a really good leader, you know, back then. And what happened later, you know, I don't believe in everything that, you know, I learned in books and all these things, because nobody, you know, builds a country, you know, in 3 and 4 years to go and fuck it up. But, you know, what they say is that winners, they write the history, right? So even if you're a bad country and you win the war, you're gonna write the history, and the good country's gonna look like they're bad. But, you know, that's like, all these things are just opinions. It's, you know, when it comes to the facts, where a lot of facts do get lost over time and they get manipulated. A lot of people that do get credit for a lot of things do not deserve, and people that deserve credits do never get them. It's kind of, you know, life is life, right? It's sometimes it's like I said, you know, it's not about like what do you do, but, you know, like how you sell everything. And obviously, when it comes to lying, manipulating, and sales, politicians do a very, very, very good job. And that's why they're politicians, because they talk, but they don't produce. Abba, from what I see, it's their main bank, or a lot of locals technically. All their payments they make, or most of them, are with the cell phones. And so there's an app, and you're technically just send your money for, like, even small things. When you go to all these markets, and the motor girl, she took me to like a local market. Hi, how are you? I'm okay, thank you. Just walk. I've been. Thank you. So all these markets, they have like these cards that you put on the neck with a QR code, and that's how they make payments. So like I said, like, a lot of them, the locals don't even use cash. They technically just scan. Now, when it comes to like food street, where you see a lot of people, you know, drive these carts, and look, I had chicken, some beef, and I ate a little bit of that street food from the carts, and it's pretty good, and it's also very cheap. I think I had like maybe eight. They were not like kebabs, but like like 8 sticks of different like beef balls and chicken and, like I said, and pork and whatnot. And the cost for that was about $1.50, which is like obviously like super cheap. If you go to the restaurant, if you get like the restaurants that I showed you, like chicken, it's about, let's say, chicken with pasta, whatever, it's about $5.50. If you want to get like shrimp and whatnot, it's about $8 per meal. For what I don't understand, if like people don't make a lot of money, obviously they cannot afford to spend $8 on a meal, right? But I've seen like let's say a little box of strawberries or cherries, because it's imported. It costs like $10, which is like super expensive. Take a couple pictures. So yeah, it's what do you call it? It's sometimes, when you look at those things, it's like, I don't know how people survive, but they don't kind of care about having a nice place. Most of the people rent. There's a place over here across this bar where you have like nice condos that foreigners kind of come and stay here for a month, let's say. It's about $700 a month for an apartment, right? So, obviously for a regular local person, that is way out of a budget. But for foreigners, it's like I said, it depends where you're from. It might be not a bad deal, because you'll have a nice place. It's going to be much cheaper than hotel. But then also a lot of hotels, they do have like a 1 month extended stay that ranges, let's say, in about $1,000 or so for like a nicer hotel. So $700 for having, let's say, 2-bedroom, nice, luxury kind of thing. It's obviously a better choice than just a regular hotel. This is kind of funny how they transport a lot of goods. Everything is done with a little scooter, and I've seen some big trailers that get pulled by the scooter. I mean, these scooters, some of them have a pretty hard life. I'm guessing that they do like this, like what? I don't want to be disrespectful and say goofy. How are you? Huh? Do I want what?
You want shooting range?
What is that?
Shooting.
Oh, do I shoot guns?
Yeah, you want?
Do I want?
You want?
No, I don't want.
Why?
Because I'm a guest in this country. I don't know where the laws are here. Huh?
You are in your country?
Yeah, when it comes to, look, I don't know what's the actual law when it comes to marijuana, like I smell it when you walk around quite often. And I have a lot of people, like a lot of guys came up to me, asked me if I want to buy weed. Same thing, it's like, when I said before, you're a guest here. Thailand, it's allowed. Over here, I think it's not. And remember that even what's allowed for locals, they will treat you differently because they will want to get money out of you. So you actually might get arrested. Let's say if you would get caught, buying or smoking. And if you cannot live without weed, just go to a country like Thailand that's actually allowed. Because you do not want to go to a prison in Cambodia, I was told. So, so just like that's when I did a research when it comes to the drones. So just keep that in mind. I'll take one more picture of the street and go back to the hotel. So this is that 136th Street that I talked about. And like I said, this is like you have about 4 blocks, which is a nice walk. And the Sun and Moon Hotel, you see to the left. Next to the Sun and Moon Hotel, you have these bars. They're like 3 sectionals, right? And these are different bars. So like if you stay in a hotel, you can literally just go to the left and keep it. You'll have a company of girls. But like I talked to like 2 girls in these bars, and I don't know, like very little energy. It's like having a conversation with them is very laborious because they don't have anything interesting to say, and their answers are very obviously short and kind of limited, and at some point you're like, listen, it depends really what you're looking for. Pool gym, spa, boardroom, meeting room. It's what like I find funny is that like some like locals are very welcoming, and some people look at you like you could say like they don't want the foreigners here. You have like 2 sides to a same coin, kind of. But like I said, some people benefit it, and some people feel like tourism kind of destroys the fabric of these traditional communities, and and you can understand kind of both sides, but it is what it is. This is the thing when it comes to the like. It is a nice place. I'm happy that I've visited this place. 3-4 days, it's enough to see. Like when it comes to the culture, visit, see the palaces and all these places, 3-4 days and you're done. You're technically run out of shit to see. If you look for a good time, like bars and parties, I don't know, maybe if you meet a girl that does it for you, you might want to have more time. A lot of guys that I talk to, they come here like every year. And the more they come here, the more they like the place. So, for some, it has a lot to offer. If you're not for the party, you're more for the culture. Like I said, 3-4 days, you'll get to see, you'll get to experience. I would move on. There's like maybe 2-3 places to visit in Cambodia. And most likely I would not come back here anymore. And if I would probably go to a different place. But I heard a lot of people that do also travel. There's a mosquito here. That do travel, that Laos is also very, very nice, you know. So next, for me, it's gonna be Vietnam and then Philippines. And in Philippines, I've been a few times and I love it. I love Philippines probably the most, just for the fact is that Filipinos speak English. The prices, you know, relaxation, things to see, the history, this, you know, Spanish architecture and all these things. Like Philippines has a lot to offer and has, you know, an amazing, amazing culture and people too. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and see you next different country. All right, guys.